So my speech is going to be on three different socially aware Netflix series. The three series are The Fosters, Grey's Anatomy, and On My Block. These three shows highlight many key issues we have going on today in the U.S., and they do a very good job in keeping them relevant to what's going on literally today. Helen Keller said once, "Until the great mass of the people shall be filled with a sense of responsibility for each other's welfare, social justice can never be attained." This quote shows how TV series should definitely be using these social problems in their shows so that more people are aware of them and more of them could work together to support each other in these events. So the first show I'm going to be talking about is The Fosters. Their main issue exemplifies the issues on the foster system and how there are way too many kids in the system, and they don't have enough support, homes, or resources for them to succeed. We see this in one of the particular scenes was when Callie lived with an abusive foster dad and her younger brother, and she winded up taking a bat to his car and getting arrested for it, which fortunately she ended up okay with the legal problems, but in real life they're normally portrayed as criminal, troublesome, and do get sentenced, which is unfortunate because these kids do need the support rather than the punishment. The next scene I'm going to be talking about is in a later scene where Callie actually has to help one of her friends who is about to be a victim of sex trafficking. Also in the show it ends up all right, but in real life we see how many victims who are seen in court are still seen as criminal, and in some cases they are just seen as runaways and nobody ever really looks for them. They just end up kind of forgotten. The next show I'm going to be talking about is On My Block, and their focus was more on gang and gun violence. We see four high school students entering high school, and one of them comes from a long bloodline of gang members. So he knows right when he enters high school he is probably going to be entering the gang as well. His friends are not supportive of it, but of course he has to follow his family traditions, and it really highlights the issues in these communities that the gangs are present. It highlights issues in the communities where these gangs are very present, that these kids are more likely to be affected by these gangs and enter these gangs even when they don't want to, when they should just be regular kids going to school, starting high school like his three friends were. They really highlight gun violence in in the season finale. This is a spoiler alert. Ruby, his friend, was accidentally shot when they were trying to find Caesar, and we actually don't know what happened to him, but we see this happening a lot where people are mistaken as gang members and they're actually killed when really they're just living in their community. The last show I'll be talking about is about Grey's Anatomy. They highlight a lot of gun violence and healthcare issues that we have today. In one of the scenes, there was an active shooter in the hospital, and one of the quotes that really stuck out that he said was, "Did you know that you could buy a gun at a gas station?" What he was saying while he was doing the active shooting, and this really brought awareness to the social problem we have now, that anyone could buy a gun and it's really accessible. And they really condemn this. The next issue that they really bring out is healthcare. The healthcare issue we have in America is very bad. So immigrants have to deal with fear of deportation if they go in and get help, which leads many families even more sick than they already are because of fear. And ultimately these TV series bring awareness to all of these key issues that we should just all be aware of. Yeah, that's my presentation.
Not bad at all.